guys. And this whole like new year, new you thing, it doesn't work for me. I don't wake up on January 1st and decide to change my entire life. And I've never really believed that lasting change comes from just proclaiming something like that anyhow, without putting it into action and having a plan, you know? So I tend to not be too extreme about how I go about all this. So we're going to talk about that. Vicki, let's see. You made the beef tenderloin terrific. You know, I made it on Christmas night after making it for class here, which was hilarious because I had, I think, 4 or 5 pounds of beef tenderloin from our last class we did together. And I literally was giving it away to friends, anyone who would take it, because I was like, I can't believe I bought $150 worth of beef tenderloin just to teach the class. And I really wanted people to enjoy it. So that was fun. But yeah, I made it again on Christmas dinner, and it was a huge hit. I'm just saying hi to some people on Instagram. Hi guys, I'm teaching a House of Haas class and I'm just letting you tune in. But yeah, I bought 8 pounds of beef tenderloin for Christmas for 12 of us. So more than a half pound, was that like 2/3 of a pound? And we ate it all. It was ridiculous. I think I did 14 or 15 pounds of mashed potatoes. I did some green beans. I did bread, salad. I made this kale salad that I'm doing for the new book. And it was a huge hit. And then I made I did this. I was trying to do grasshopper pie, you know, like a green mint chocolate mint pie. And they were all out of creme de menthe at all of the liquor stores and all of the grocery stores. And so I did a peppermint one instead. And I used peppermint extract instead of creme de menthe. And it was delicious and it was super fun. And it was more about the texture of it anyhow. So it was really fun to cook through the new year. But then you kind of land on New Year's Day and it's like, oh, here we go, right? So I love it. My friend Alexander has been talking about the fact that his new idea that he's embracing this year is like truly wintering, you know, and embracing winter for the season that it is, and resting more and just allowing yourself to be tired and not move as much, kind of hibernating, right? And then he counts the new year as the first day of spring, which I think is kind of a fabulous idea, right? So I love his inspiration for that. Hi, Mick. How are you? I see you over there on Instagram. I'm just teaching a class here, and I'm sharing it with you guys too for a little bit. So anyhow, this leads us to this conversation about wellness. And instead of just like hopping into a cooking class about wellness, where I'm just like, here's what I think it means to take care of yourself, I wanted to have this time with all of you to discuss it kind of on a deeper level and see what you're looking to get out of this time of year. And if you're looking to make changes in your life and to help support that, instead of just kind of saying, this is what I do and everybody needs to follow my plan, right? So, oh, good, Susan, I'm glad you like that. So I've been talking a lot about the wellness workshop that starts next week. And I'll share with all of you why this is so great. And hi, Crazy for Coffee over there. You're on there and not in class. I'm doing it in 2 places. But I think that, you know, this is a really important topic for me because I've written books on the connection between food and how I feel, right? And it's because of personal experience. It's because I really struggled with my health in many, many monumental ways for years. And I'm really tired of not feeling well, right? I've been really fed up. And so over the years, I've become very open to understanding or learning about what makes me feel great and what doesn't. And I think in particular, the connection between the physical and the mind and the spirit and how they're all connected. And you can't have one without the other. And one can't be failing with the others thriving, you know, or vice versa. And so food has obviously been a huge unlock for me and a huge point of education, I guess, and learning. And it's the obvious thing that makes me want to pursue it forever, because I think that I've seen the most dramatic changes in my health when I change or when I really examine my diet. And the second part of that is learning to listen to my gut, literally, about what makes me feel good and what doesn't. So whether that's food or emotional stuff or people that I surround myself with. I think it all plays a huge impact on our well-being in general, right? So as I started to understand a little bit more about how food could impact my well-being and how by kind of tinkering with my diet, I could feel a lot better or a lot worse, it's just compelled me to want to understand other components of self-care that will help me feel like the best version of myself, because I want to live for a really long time. And I don't want to just, hi guys over on Instagram. I don't want to just live, I want to thrive. And I'm so sad because what month are we in? January 12th. 2 Novembers ago, or a November ago, so 14 months ago, I got to participate in this amazing wellness conference in Florida. And this year it was canceled because of the terrible storms down there. But we learned a lot about aging and the efforts to prolong our life, right? And what science is doing to do that. And I'm super interested. And I thought what was really interesting is that there are things that we can do on a cellular level now that we know are going to help prolong the quality of our lives and our lives themselves, right? So that fascinated me, along with Dan Buettner, I think that's how you say his last name, who has studied the blue zones and has written all these books on the blue zones across the world, the 5 places that where people are the healthiest and live the longest. And he's been comparing and contrasting their lifestyles forever. And it's just been the most fascinating work. And so it's just a topic, obviously, that has become really important and fascinating to me. And the other thing I like about it is that it's a journey, it's not a destination. And so I've done a lot of things that make me feel better, but I still struggle in a lot of areas. But I think the great part is that every month, every day, I'm learning about something else that helps me feel like the best version of myself. And maybe it's that I stuck to meditation for a little while, or I decided to eat less meat, or I just found ways to laugh more during the day, or I've ironed out my sleep schedule. I mean, I've just accepted the fact that I'm meant to go to bed at like 9 o'clock. I mean, there's just like nothing good for me happens after 9 p.m. I'd probably say 8 o'clock, right? Learning how to balance my work schedule. I always think it's funny when people are like, oh my God, you're so busy, you're crushing it. And it's so great to hear that, right? And to hear it on social media is fun. But what people don't see is that I have made a super conscious effort to rein in the pace of my work. And yes, I do a lot of work. I probably move at a more rapid pace than most people, but it's because I've started to work less as well. And so I've started carving out a lot more time for me to not be working or active around it, so that when I do work, I can work really well and concentrate. And the other part of that as well is that I just love what I do, right? So I've spent the last 4 or 5 years really digging into what it is that makes me want to get out of bed every day. So when I do, it's an absolute joy. So those are some of the things we're going to be exploring this month. And for those of you that are over on Instagram, or those of you who are in House of Haas who are tuning in, I have been talking about the wellness workshop, and it launches next Wednesday. So it's separate than House of Haas, but here's what we're going to do. We took signups, and we've got our diehards who have already signed up for the course. And most of them are already House of Haas members. But we, thanks to a couple very generous people, have had some contributions to encourage everyone to come and join this class, and or to join House of Haas. And that thinking got me thinking that if money is the thing getting in your way of taking another class through us, I don't want that to be the case. So we have generously, well, first of all, we decided, oh my God, why don't we just let people pay what they can and we'll get the rest sponsored, right? And if you've already paid, then we're going to let you invite someone to bring to the entire conference themselves. Conference, workshop, what are we calling this? Eight different workshop sessions, whatever on here. And so I want as many people as possible to be part of this conversation. And then we'll save the other House of Haas class for some really awesome cooking that I want to do. And we can dig in deeper to the culinary aspect, right? So if you only want to do House of Haas, that's terrific. But if you really want to join the wellness workshop, you guys are welcome to go get online and check it out, and either sign up. And if you want to pay full price, terrific. But if you're not in a place to do that right now, I always say financial wellness is a thing too. Fiscal responsibility is a huge part of our health and well-being. And if it's not the right time of year for you to be spending money on something like this, just go to the link and pay what you can. I mean, if that's $5, that's fine. We want you there. Or if you'd like to pay it forward for someone else, like so many generous people have done. And I hate to just keep calling one person out, so I won't. I don't know if she's okay with that. So I'll stop doing it, right? But there have been a few people who are just making it possible for other people to join us. All we're trying to do is cover the expenses of the guest instructors we're having, and to cover the expenses of keeping the business running. So that's my goal with this, and to invite as many people as possible into this conversation. We're also going to start a Facebook group for the very first time. It's going to be up and running by the time we launch next week, the class. And so that's forever. And my hope is that this becomes a permanent conversation around our health and well-being, and that it's a place where we can learn from each other and exchange ideas, right? So you should also know that I'm not going to come at this with the attitude of that I have all the answers for you, because I don't even have all the answers for myself, right? I certainly don't have all the answers for myself. I'm looking at Instagram when I tell you that as well. I don't have all the answers for our health. And I think the reason for that is because we are all unique. What I need is not what you need. And that goes as much for a diet, for sleep patterns, for how to control stress, for how much stress you can take, for relationships, and all of those things. So that's my spiel on wellness, friends. And I have a bunch of things, a bunch of topics I would love to talk with you about this month. And I think the other thing is, oh, Susan, that's so lovely. Yes, you can do it together. And invite, yes, absolutely. We'll take it offline and make sure that she joins. That's great. That's a beautiful gift you just gave her. So I think the other thing I'm going to do, and I'll continue to publicize this on House of Haas as well, because I want you all to take advantage of it, is we're not going to have like 8,000 classes on Crowdcast every day, but I'll go live on Instagram once a day at a set time, so that we can discuss smaller wellness topics in smaller bits, right? And I'm just going to throw out some suggestions for topics, and I would love to get your feedback on topics as well, okay? Instagram, I'm not really reading your comments right now, so it's harder for me to take note of yours. If you have any ideas, you're welcome to DM me, subjects to talk about, okay? But here are the ones I wanted to start with. And House of Hossers, please chime in. Hi, by the way, for anybody who joined us late, and Happy New Year. We're going to talk about the obvious things. I'd like to start with the food component and talk a little bit more, gain a better understanding of certain diets. And when I say diets, I'm not talking about going on something to lose weight. I'm talking about kind of like lifestyles, right? So things like paleo, keto, vegetarian, vegan, and different ways to approach food. And probably invite some friends on just to talk about different types of diets. Hi, Angie. How are you? Happy New Year. And of course, I'll be talking about a broader conversation, which is an anti-inflammation diet. And when people, I get the sweetest emails and DMs about like, can you tell me how to eat an anti-inflammatory diet? I can sell you my book, which tells you the ingredients that are really the best for you and not. But the point is, it's really about eating foods that are not refined, right? So you want to eat things in the wholest state possible. So fruits, vegetables, plants, some meat, and animal protein if you do, being really sure that you understand how to source them, which kinds are best for you, and environmentally what's kind of happened, right? Like, I think the thing that's so challenging is with fish and seafood, that so many of them have been, for lack of a better word, kind of poisoned, right? By what is in the water now in terms of like high metal content and other things. And so you have to know a lot to make good decisions about what you're ingesting. So I would love to have some conversations around that. Smaller conversations. Oh, thanks all for the nice comments. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Love it. Thank you all. You guys are so kind. But yeah, Bina, it's a journey, right? It is absolutely a journey. And oh my gosh, Bina, you guys would be actually one of my favorite people to host on Instagram, because I think I'm going to go, well, I'll plug them in a second. Bina and her business partner during COVID started a spice company called Sugar Roti, which is based on her grandmother's cooking. And it's a huge compilation of Indian spices, spice blends that she grew up enjoying. And it's just a total labor of love, I think it's safe to say, isn't it? But the thing is, it's Bonnie, I'm going to get to that conversation here in a second. I just wrote a book introduction about what you're saying. The thing is, spices and herbs are a huge part of our well-being. And so much of this was figured out thousands of years ago in cultures who took the time to combine things and understand how they made us feel. And so a lot of times I do return to the topic of spice blends and herbs and plants and what we can get from our diets naturally to feel great. So the longer we live and the more science that's done, the more we understand that in India in particular, the combinations of spices they've been using for thousands of years are truly the cornerstone to an anti-inflammatory diet. So I would love, Bina, will you call me? Oh, I think we have a special guest. Come in. Will you call me or DM me, and let's make sure to have that conversation. Oh, hi, who is it?
Sorry, it's Glenn.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm doing an Instagram live. I'm so sorry. Hi. Hi. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. They came and took the tree.
Okay.
They just came and did it.
Okay,
I'll call you later. You're so sweet, Glenn. Welcome home. Bye. Happy New Year. I thought it was going to be my friend Sunny. That's so funny. Anyhow, what was I saying? Spices, anti-inflammatory. And I see Lori asking about the difference versus an autoimmune diet versus anti-inflammatory. So, Lori, this is a conversation where I would love to bring somebody in who deals with autoimmune disease, a doctor or nutritionist, because I could do an entire month on talking about autoimmune diseases. I'll actually share a podcast with you guys. I'm going to write this down about why autoimmune diseases affect so many more women than men. It's like crazy, the difference now. And a large part of it is because they are starting to understand that women take on so much more responsibility in a household than men do. So now that so many of women have gone into the work world full throttle, they haven't changed the level of intensity in which they approach home life. And so the amount of stress when you are the person in charge of scheduling the kids for carpool, getting the laundry done, cleaning the house, entertaining, all of these things, really they think is at the crux of the stress level of women who become so much more susceptible to autoimmune diseases. So I don't want to speak out of turn about what's great for autoimmune stuff versus anti-inflammatory. What I will say, not being a doctor, is that inflammation is at the root of so much disease, cancer, many of the autoimmune things we struggle with. It is just like disease loves inflammation in your body. So if you can stop causing a lot of the inflammation through the Western diet that's developed over the years, you're going to be ahead of the game. And so instead of saying tell me about an autoimmune diet, I would say this: eating an anti-inflammatory diet is going to help prevent or potentially turn around some of the autoimmune problems that so many of us struggle with. I've certainly had my share of them, too many to name at this point, and have been on and off of medications for the last, how old's my 15 years for different things. And I'll share with you too that in addition to diet, I think what I'm learning is that understanding the management of stress along with that, and the digestion of emotions. How's that for a thought? I'm trying to change this lighting. It's so lousy, guys. I'm sorry. Well, look at that. It helped. But learning how to kind of process emotions and yucky stuff that happens in life so that our body doesn't hold on to it so much. And so that's something we're going to dig into too. Hi, Teresa, in the wellness workshop. I'm sharing with Instagram people, if you're just joining us, if you haven't heard, I put the link up. If you want to join us for the wellness workshop that starts next week, you can go check it out on my website. But instead of, if it's not a good time financially to spring for it, we want you to pay what you can to join us. And we are so lucky to have a couple people who have stepped up and are paying it forward so that we can invite as many people as possible. And if you've already signed up for the class and paid in full, we're inviting you to bring a guest. And so we'll take those conversations offline, but you're welcome to use the link and sign up for the class and either say, I'm paying it forward for someone else, or I want to take it myself, and we'll get back to you. Okay. So we're going to have big thoughts about all of those things. Oh my gosh. Overactive immune system. Ruth, wow, that's a good one. You know what? Overactive immune system is another thing that I've talked to my doctor about. I'm taking notes, you guys, because we are going to talk about these things. Oh, and we're going to talk about, I was starting to say, in the wellness workshop, we have 4 different teachers joining us to discuss things outside of the food world. We're going to do breath work. We're going to do yoga. We'll do meditation and sound meditation. And then we have Josh Connolly, who's from England. He lives in London, outside of London. On Instagram, he's Josh_FFW, I think. He is going to join us to talk about humanizing emotions. And he is just a spectacular story. An amazing human being himself who I just reached out and said, let's be friends. Because I'm obsessed with his work, but really about what happens when you don't process trauma. And also, he's a huge proponent of letting go of relationships that don't serve you, whether that's alcohol, drugs, people, toxic relationships. I think we talk about, we use the word toxic a lot. And it's kind of become like organic to me. Like I hear it all the time and I just want to ignore it because it sounds a little obnoxious. But what he's talking about, and when you hear him speak about how trying to process your own emotions when you have grown up with or are surrounded by toxic people and what it even means, what that means, a lot of narcissism, sociopaths, all of it. It's fascinating work. And so I'm really excited to get into that. And that's going to be part of the wellness workshop itself. So if you guys want time with Josh, please sign up. Please, please, please. He does his own workshops. And again, it's a total treat to welcome all 4 of these people into our world. And it's just like amazing. It is so hard to access these 4 people. And so we'll be sharing more with you in an email about who is teaching. But I'm just so grateful that they said yes. Okay, so other things we're going to talk about. Occasional cleanse, detox. I'd love to share some information with about some other people to follow too about this, who are doctors. Sarah Gottfried in particular, who is a Bay Area, East Bay woman who does women and hormones and has written so many books on the topic. It's amazing, but she's talking about detoxing a lot right now. Intermittent fasting, KQ. Oh my gosh, I need to see you, KQ. I need to give you your prize. Intermittent fasting, check. Absolutely. This is one I've been looking to into a lot. I'm just reading about correlation and causation. Oh, you know what's interesting about that? Could it be that men are living under the macho cloud? Wondering, yes. You know what? I think that there's another topic with another doctor I'd love to share with you all. She got on Instagram last night and was talking about, she does a lot on aging and hormones as well. And she was saying that, we talk about toxic masculinity and correlate that with high testosterone and anger with high testosterone, where really they're finding too that men who have low testosterone a lot of times suffer from anger and depression issues. And so we just kind of started to think like these big, strong men are angry and mad and they must have high testosterone, but is that really what is causing that? There's so much more, right, to dig into in the, I think in the male-female dynamic and just kind of how we've been set up as a society for so long. So it's a bigger conversation. Trisha, hi. We're just talking about wellness. I'm doing a little online wellness boot camp over the next 4 weeks. I would love. I'll email you. I'd love to host you and Doro, you guys, as part of our conversation. I'll put it up. If you follow BB and our wellness on here, they are the amazing women who host a couple conferences every year and get the best people in the world to speak. And it's their conference I'm referring to in Florida that was just so eye-opening for me. And Doro came on and did a meditation with us on here once. Trisha was supposed to join us as well, but we couldn't figure out Instagram with 3 people that day. I think things have gotten easier, but they are 2 women I look up to so much in this space. And they share so much amazing information with the world. So Trisha, I'm glad you hopped on here. Hi. I'm actually teaching a House of Haas class to this screen, but I just thought I'd let Instagram tune in as well. And we're letting people pay it forward if they want to donate for others to take the wellness class, or if you can't swing the $2.99 to take it's 16 hours of classes, you guys, which will be saved and you can go back and watch them whenever you want. 8 hours of cooking and 8 hours of other wellness exploration. Pay whatever you can pay if you want to join us, okay? You don't need to pay more than the original price. But if you can't pay the whole price, we don't care what it is, okay? We just want you to join us. Okay, so we've got helpful angels. I love that. You guys, I've actually been talking about angels a lot with a couple people in my life. And then, you know how you start to talk about something and then it just starts popping up everywhere in your life. I had someone who I really regard as, well, now I call her my angel on earth, my earth angel. I regard her as just one of the wisest people I know. And she was talking about angels you can't see and learning how to ask something you can't see for guidance, right? And then the fact that there are people on earth who probably are your angels, right? Who are the ones who guide and love you and help steer you through things. And then I went to lunch with someone an hour later after that conversation, and she started talking about angels again. And it absolutely flipped me out because I was like, this is just proof that we're all combined. We're all one big mosh pit of energy and love, right? And how we carry it for others and how we know when to ask others for support and love. It's a fascinating conversation. So you might have just been saying angels, Angie, in the most casual way, but yeah. Being unwell carries a stress of its own. Support is a blessing. So Fenna, you know what? I love how you said that because I think that I'd love to talk about support, relationships. I thought my friend Sunny was going to walk through the door, and friendships and the power of community, right? And on our mental health and our physical health, actually. And just having strong bonds with people, right? And it's not the quantity, it's the quality. And you guys, I feel like I'm a broken record. I've been working on my 4th cookbook, which is going to be called Simply Homemade. I won't share the subtitle yet because I can't remember it. It's on my desk and I'm going to say it wrong. I don't know. But I was just finishing writing the introduction. It's kind of like the last call for me to write it. And I was talking about, the point I was trying to get at is that food is important and what we feed ourselves, what we choose to put into our bodies is absolutely important, but it doesn't have to be all of the things I talk about. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be hard to make. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. I already said that. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. But I think at the end of the day, food is the excuse for community and to just have a reason to bring people together, which is just as important for our well-being as the food itself, right? So when people beat themselves up because they think they're not making the perfect meal, I just say that's not even the point, right? Or they're like, oh, my kids ate chicken fingers last night, or I made them something really bad for dinner tonight. It's like, okay, well, did it keep them from eating something worse, right? Would they have just gone to McDonald's and gotten something really processed if you didn't do this? And what about the fact you got to sit down together for 10 minutes, right? What does that do for our well-being? There are just huge studies done that show that even sitting down with your kids for 5-10 minutes a night for a meal, they talk to you more. They're less likely to do drugs and alcohol at a young age. It's like the information is just mind-boggling, right? So my point was, I always get sentimental when I write books, is that I was trying to say, the food is the love, and it's the excuse to create a connection with everybody. And whether that means you're cooking for yourself, which I do a lot, which I totally enjoy. And it means I can sit down in peace and enjoy something and enjoy the love and the time and the effort I put into it. Or if I'm cooking for my children, or if I'm cooking for friends, the act itself is is love, and in turn a form of wellness, because it's the excuse to bring people together, right? So I would love to talk about that. Yeah, religious and secular angels, for sure. Different ways to look at it. And I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I would call myself spiritual, but I just, for the first time in my life, started taking my kids to church. And when I say that, I use the term loosely. We've been twice in the past for 2 big holidays, but it's not about like, this is God and this is Jesus and this is what I want you to understand. It's the community. It's coming together with other people to talk about really good things. And a lot of times they're focusing on the charity work they're doing within the community. Christmas service was adorable because all the little kids got up and told the story of baby Jesus. And it was just like the cutest thing. It was fun to be doing something with my friends and family where we were watching these adorable kids. So I think my take on organized religion is not very organized. Let's put it that way. I'm super, I don't have to share all of it with you guys. I don't think I would offend anybody. It's just, I'm very much like we're all, does anybody watch South Park? This is gonna take a bad turn. I'm not gonna curse, I promise you. But South Park did this show years ago. They did an episode on, I think they were talking about Mormonism, but the point was they were like trying to determine which religion was the right religion, right? Because everybody's like, it's only one religion, our God, whatever. And it was so hilarious. I can't remember if they decided that it was Mormonism or Catholicism. It was just like they determined the one religion. And I'm so far separated from that. I mean, the more I study religion, and it's always been something that's interested me, the more I think we're all, trying to do the same thing, and that there's one goal, and it's take care of each other and love each other and treat people well. And I don't think somebody's wrong and somebody's right. That's my thing. I don't view religion as like, if I go to church, that's the only religion, right? So I think it's a fascinating conversation. And I think that religion and or spirituality can do so much for people, right? Just having faith that there's something larger than ourselves, whether that be a God or the universe, can play a huge part in our well-being. I haven't done homework on this. I'd love to talk about it though, if anybody knows more. This light is literally driving me bonkers. There are studies that people who have strong faith are healthier, right? Because they believe that everything's going to be okay, which is a really big deal. So, hi, people joining us on Instagram. I'm just giving you a sneak peek into a class that I'm doing here on House of Haas. And so it's the first class that we've had, you guys, in I can't believe I'm saying 2023. And the first one of the new year. And we're just getting started. And I'm laughing because it's 2023 and I was at a holiday party for my friend's amazing fundraising organization in early December. And I ran into a chef friend whom I had not seen in ages, but the last time he cooked, we were at his restaurant on New Year's Eve, 1999, for the turn of the century. And I ran up to him at this event and I said his name and I was like, it's Amanda. And he was just like, what? How do you still remember me? I have a really good long-term memory. Plus, I used to work with him at Williams-Sonoma when he was starting out as a chef, and he was just working there like one day a week to get the discount. And so it was funny, but yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyhow, okay, so we can talk angels, we can just talk spirituality, we're going to talk meditation, breath work, yoga. We are going to talk about humanizing of emotions and what that does to your body. Josh is really tied into breath work as well. And so it's funny because all of these kind of like arts, sciences, play into each other, right? And so he's also like a master breathwork instructor, because a lot of times when you're learning how to process emotion, the breathwork piece is incredible. And the small amounts of breathwork I've done have been very clearing emotionally. And they warn you of that before you do it, because you can get like feel almost high or get really sad, right? As you're clearing things out. I'm going to read this thing. Oh yeah. You know what? That's so interesting. Yeah. The whole idea of having faith around death. Oh, there's somebody else I want to have on here. Oh my gosh, because she's so fantastic. You guys, all of these people I'm talking about are people I've just gone and made friends with on Instagram who are like really good at what they do. Dr. Laura Berman. I saw her for the first time. I've spoken about her before. She was on Oprah Winfrey years ago. She's a sex and relationship expert. And so I saw her on Oprah Winfrey. This is when I barely had kids, I think. And she was talking to teenagers about whether or not they should have sex, and how her line of questioning was so spot on. I've remembered it to this day. And she was brilliant at her job. And then I started following her on Instagram, and she talks about so many other things, but her connection between, actually her writing, I would say, about her beliefs and the fact that, souls are never, it's like energy. It's never created or destroyed. And she believes that same thing with souls. And so she recently lost a son and to drug poisoning. It was terrible, terrible loss. But the way she's handled it and discussed it in terms of like, he's not gone, this is his physical body is gone, has just been so inspiring and fascinating to me. So I love all these topics. What else? Throw me some others, guys. We can get cosmic. Sad. Yeah, no, I'm sure, Michael. I think that faith is an amazing thing. And I too have found myself, I don't know if I would say jealous or envious. I'm trying to, when people have really strong faith, I ask myself why. And I don't envy it, because I actually think I have pretty strong faith as well. I actually do believe that everything works out like it's supposed to. And I've even come to believe that the worst things that have happened to me are actually a higher power screaming at me to listen and make a change. And it's always been the best thing possible. I think Sunny's here. Is there a relationship between food and depression? Susan, let's get deep on that one. Bonnie, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Is this my sunshine?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I'm so excited. I'm going to explain to you. Come here. I'm going to explain why I'm so excited to see her. But I am going to give you an assignment first. First of all, hi. You guys, this is my Sunny.
Not just for the women.
And you're on Instagram.
Oh my God. Okay.
You guys, Sunny has been gone for 17 days. How long were you gone?
17 days.
Sunny left for 17 days, and she lives down the street. She's my dearest. I can call you one of my soulmates. You definitely are. We are soulmates. We can't, no matter where we go, we wind up together. She moved away for 11 years, 10 years, and wound up down the street. And then she moved down the street, and I wound up down the street. And we are just two peas in a pod, as they say. And thank God during COVID, we lived near each other because our kids could hang out. And it's just been swell. Anyhow, she and her lovely family, Chrissy's like, yay, Sunny. They went away, very far away for 17 days. And what I realized over the holidays, we spent Christmas together, and then they were off the next morning, is that Sunny is my emotional rock, and that I have not been away from you in that long since I think you moved here, right?
Yes.
Is that true? We tell each other everything.
So I've got nachos for the debrief.
So yes. So my phone broke today, so I can't call and talk on the phone. I can only text. And I've been wanting to see her all day, but I had a deadline, which I had to do.
And you made.
And I made.
You
yeah,
made it?
I did 95%. And so she brought food over that her mom made too while you were gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, her mom's the best, Teddy Mary. And she brought us nachos because that's Sunny's favorite food on earth. Sunny, tell us what were on the nachos. Where did you have the nachos on your trip?
Oh my God.
She was in Jakarta. Where were you?
We were in Jakarta at a hotel, and there were nachos on the menu. Nachos is my favorite thing in the entire world. So I was so excited. Nachos for the win.
Mm-hmm.
And they were delivered.
Room service delivered or from
No,
a restaurant?
At the restaurant, at
Okay.
the hotel, and They were sitting in a pool of olive oil, like someone had taken 2 cups of olive oil and dumped them on it. The most disgusting.
They weren't even good.
They weren't even nachos.
Oh, all she
just
said
does that.
was that you had told me that she sent me a picture, and that time it's like 3 or 4 in the morning, right? And I've been waking up at that time, and so I'm looking at it, and she's like, they're all olive oil, and I was hoping that what you meant were that they were great, but just different.
Not just for the win tonight.
Yes. So she knows like where everything is. She's gonna turn on my oven, and we'll wrap it up here soon, sunshine.
You take your
But
time.
this is what I was gonna say is that yeah, Ruth, until the universe slaps you around. Yeah, me too. About staying motivated and disciplined. This is why I don't come flying out of the gates on January 1st, because I don't think it works. So what I want to do with House of Haas and with the wellness workshop, any of you who are joining us, I want you to write down one thing that you want to work on with your health and wellness. It does not have to be about food. It can be any of the things that we've been talking about tonight. Maybe it's just the fact you want to get up and meditate every day for 5 minutes, or you want to find a way to start walking. I got a stand-up desk, and I'm super psyched about it, you guys, because it just keeps me from sitting all day. So write one thing down. And for our next House of Haas class, we'll talk about it in the cooking class, which I think is a week from Saturday. Am I right? 21st, 28th. I got to check my schedule. Write it down and let's talk about them. And then I will start announcing the time and the topics for the Instagram lives. I'll probably do them every night around, I'll probably go live at 5. And that's on top of the wellness workshop, right? So we'll probably just dig into some of these smaller topics on Instagram. And then if you join the wellness workshop, again, one last plug, if you can't swing the whole price, it doesn't matter. Just go to the link I've got on Instagram Live or go to my website to the Pay It Forward page under House of Haas and pay what you can. And, or if you want to support somebody else and pay it forward, you can do that as well. But I'll be sending all kinds of information about what we're doing in those classes versus what I'll do on Instagram and what we'll talk about. But, and you guys feel free to DM me if you have any other conversations you want to have. And for you House of Haasers, for our regular members, what else do you want to learn this year? Chrissy, I miss you. Did you guys hear? I got to meet Chrissy in real life over the holidays. Sonny, did you know that? No. She goes, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy, who's part of House of Haas, and her husband, Craig. I think I told you that. We surprised Chrissy, and they came here. Her husband surprised her, and we got to meet and then go to the Warriors game together. Best night ever. It was so much fun to meet you, Chrissy. I loved it. Honestly, like I felt like I knew her already because and it was just so fantastic. That was one of the best parts about my holiday. So, and yes, everybody needs a Sunny in their life. Karen, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Did you see what I'm wearing? Talk about another amazing thing. You guys, you House of Fosters are amazing. What?
I forgot your present.
What? What present?
I'm going back to get.
Oh my gosh, I have your present I never gave you or your mom in my room. You probably saw it. Oh my gosh. Okay, goodbye. She brought me something. She's the best. So guys, I think that's it. Everyone needs a Sunny. You're absolutely right. Love you guys. House of Haas is definitely one of the things I'm most grateful for. I journal every day, and that's something I'm really proud of doing. Oh, the other conversation, alcohol. If you guys want to talk about me and being alcohol free, call it sobriety, call it whatever you want. I heard somebody say something so great the other day about this. Oh, now I'm remembering who said it, and I meant to reach out to her because it's exactly how I feel about using the word sober. People are like, oh, you're sober. Sober from what? Alcohol? Yeah. But like, I don't think sobriety is just one thing. And I don't even think it's for drugs and alcohol. I mean, I think that most of us are struggling with something that we don't have great control over, whether it's our emotions, whether it's love addiction, whether it's sex, alcohol, drugs, phones, social media use. I mean, that one is not under control for me. If I think about how many times a day I check my phone, I mean, so yeah, no. Am I sober? No. I don't think I would call myself sober. I'm just alcohol free. Yay me. Right? So if you guys want to discuss any more of that, I would love to. Susan, you'd like a class on mocktails? I would like to invite my friend to teach us a class on mocktails because that's what he does for a living. Karen, she did not. I heard that she'd had a heart attack. That is so sad. And you know what? It's just heart disease is a big deal. I mean, I think especially too, I'm just writing this down as something to talk about. It is just taking care of ourselves. Yeah, this is crazy. What we need to do to live longer, better lives. And I mean, I think all of these things matter. Oh, I'm so sorry to read that. Sunny had just told me that she had had a heart attack, but that's just heartbreaking is what that is. That's heartbreaking. Oh my gosh. Okay, so clearly we have so much to talk about around this topic for the next month. And January 18th, that is next Wednesday. It's oh my God, I can't believe today is Thursday. Help combat rising food prices. Bonnie, you got it. I am so glad you brought that up because I went to buy eggs the other day, and then Katie Kirk just did an article on this. You guys, they were like $9 when my fancy eggs are normally $5 to $6. I was in shock. And so, yes, combating food prices. Oh my gosh, that should be a permanent conversation. Food inflation is the worst inflation. Is that what it is, KQ? Bird flu? Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Okay, Stacey Joe's asking, and I am so glad you just brought this up. Is the wellness by Zoom or webinar? You guys, I'm going to freak out. Denise Austin is watching on Instagram right now. Denise, can I just say hello? Nice to meet you. You're amazing. I know that you're involved in our friends organization in Eat, Learn, Play, or that you're friends with the Currys as well. And you guys, if you don't know who Denise Austin is, follow her immediately on Instagram. She is literally, you have been a leader in the fitness and wellness space for how many years? I'm not trying to age either one of us. I'm just saying you're spectacular. And I watched today you guys, she's amazing. I mean, if you haven't seen Denise Austin, I'm not going to say you've been living under a rock, but I don't know how many magazine covers you've been on in your lifetime, Denise, but many. But you post when you're on vacation too, like easy things to do, even if you don't have workout equipment. And so she was doing this stand-up ab workout. And I mean, it's like easy stuff, right? Denise, I'm personally inviting you on to come do a class with us. Oh, shucks, my connection just went out. The connection's been so poor here. But you're amazing and spectacular. And I'm so excited that we are connected through amazing people. Oh my God, we need to also talk about not charity, but just like doing good things for others and what it does for your well-being. I'm adding this to our list because you guys, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm just learning so much tonight. I'm going to rate giving. That's what I'm going to call it, giving. This is another topic we're going to discuss in our wellness workshops and on IG Live. I saw Denise and realized too that, and I believe her husband as well, they're connected to Stefan and Aisha Curry through some great ways. And I've shared with you guys a little bit about their charity, Eat, Learn, Play, which is based here in the Bay Area, right down the street in Oakland. You could throw a rock at it. And I was lucky enough before the holidays to go with a dear friend of mine and my son to help build a playground at a school in Oakland. And it was honestly the best day I've had. It was the best day I had in 2022. It was amazing. And it was amazing because we were with random people doing something for other people who were so deserving. And if you could have seen these kids come out and see their new playground, it was the most gratifying thing I did all year long. And it most definitely affects our health when you're doing things like that. It just was so dang amazing. And so I'm actually, as I finish this book deadline, I swear I'm wrapping it up, Sunny. Yeah. As I finish this book deadline, my next thing is going to be to start working on the marketing of it. And we're going to figure out how to contribute sales of the book to these amazing organizations. Do I get to open my gift on camera? She's not showing her face anymore.
Oh, maybe.
You guys, she brought me something from her travels to Indonesia.
I did.
Should I wait?
Maybe.
I'll wait. maybe it's personal and it'll make me cry or something. It'll probably make me cry. So, okay, so I'll wrap it up for real now. Okay, lovely human beings. We need a longer course, Diana. Kindness first. I love that. Oh my gosh, are you talking about how many videos Denise Austin has? Denise, if you're still on Instagram, I mean, where do you begin, right? I mean, how many? I can't even imagine. I'm just trying to think of how many magazine covers you've been on in how many years, right? It'd be crazy to find it. I'll find out. But I love you guys. I can't wait to keep these conversations going. And we're going to dig into all these great topics. So stay tuned, and I'll make sure to tell you on Instagram and via email when we're going to be hopping on to discuss all these great topics. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good one. Bye. I'm going to hang up on my class first. So I saved the video properly. No, I don't want to cancel it. I want to end broadcast. See, I do this every time. End broadcast.